$588 billion. That is the official cost of rebuilding Ukraine, according to the World Bank and the United Nations. And the companies that will win those contracts are already known. They were there before the war. They never really left. Today we're breaking down exactly which stocks could explode when the Ukraine war ends, and why French companies are perfectly positioned to dominate the biggest reconstruction contract of the 21st century. Let's go. First, the scale of the destruction. $588 billion in reconstruction costs over 10 years. $660 billion in cumulative economic losses. 14% of Ukraine's entire housing stock damaged or destroyed, more than 3 million homes. The priority sectors are transport, energy, and housing. Every single one of them systematically targeted and destroyed. This is not just a war. This is the demolition of an entire country's infrastructure, and someone has to rebuild it. Now here's what most investors don't know. France was the #1 foreign employer in Ukraine before the invasion. 160 French companies were already operating there in 2022. This is not a country arriving as a stranger. France has roots in Ukraine, deep roots. Let's talk about the specific companies. Vinci, currently trading at €126.55. Vinci already has subsidiaries operating in Ukraine. When reconstruction contracts are awarded, and they will be worth hundreds of billions, Vinci is at the front of the line. Bouygues, trading at €48.96. Another French construction giant with European infrastructure expertise. Ukraine needs roads, bridges, buildings. Bouygues builds all of them. Saint-Gobain, trading at €69.36. Every destroyed building needs glass, insulation, construction materials. Saint-Gobain is the European leader. 3 million homes to rebuild. That is an almost unlimited order book. Alstom, trading at €23.02. Ukraine's railway network has been systematically destroyed. Alstom already had locomotive contracts before the war. Rail reconstruction will be massive. And beyond construction, Crédit Agricole and BNP Paribas are already the leading foreign banks in Ukraine. Every reconstruction project needs financing. French banks are already there. Now let's talk about the historical precedent. In 1948, the United States launched the Marshall Plan. $13 billion, equivalent to $170 billion today, to rebuild Europe after World War II. Was it charity? Absolutely not. 90% were grants, but the conditions were clear. European countries had to buy American equipment with those dollars. American industrial standards were imposed across the continent. American companies dominated European reconstruction for decades. The lesson is simple. The country that finances and supports reconstruction gets the contracts. Always. France has already committed €71 million in February 2026 for urgent reconstruction projects. Emmanuel Macron has publicly stated France will be there, and Macron is pushing to use frozen Russian assets, currently locked in European banks, to finance Ukrainian reconstruction. If that succeeds, we're talking about hundreds of billions available immediately. Now, will these stocks explode when the war ends? Historically, construction and infrastructure companies gain between 20 and 50% in the months following the end of a major conflict. At current prices, Vinci at €126 could reach €150 to €180. Saint-Gobain at 69 could reach €85 to €100. Bouygues at 49 could reach €60 to €70. These are not guarantees. These are historical patterns applied to the current situation. The question is not if Ukraine will be rebuilt. It will be. The question is who gets there first. French companies are already there. They were there before the bombs fell. And they will be there when the last one explodes. Are you positioned? If this video gave you clarity, smash that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. I'm Kurt, and this is Investopia. I'll see you in the next one. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. It does not constitute financial advice. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions.